I worked out the size and positions I need for the holes in the top of my whack-a-mole game, but I thought a nice copper sheet might look better than plywood and last longer too, maybe. So I drew up a shape that includes the holes but extends beyond the top two, so I hope I can fold that down over the edges. Now, can I machine this shape out with my CNC router? Well, that was the challenge, made more daunting by the fact that this piece of copper sheet cost €100. What? Yep, €100. Copper's expensive stuff. So I have one chance to get this right, and one chance only. Now, apparently, copper cuts best when it's hardened, because when it's soft or annealed, it can melt onto the blade and make a miserable mess. Now, you can harden copper sheet really easily just by hitting it or rolling it and unrolling it a few times, but this sheet is already uneven, and I thought the more I move it, the worse it will get. Even looking at it seemed to make it worse. So I just stuck it down with some hot glue to keep it flat and in position on the table and hoped for the best. It's a new milling bit, and I looked up feeds and speeds and depths of cut and all that sort of thing. Basically, try not to take off too much in one go. Don't go too fast or too slowly, and lubricate everything at all times. I tried a test in the corner, and this is what happened. So much for the hot glue idea. But at least, judging by the chips, it was being cut all right. So I screwed the sheet down instead, but that left undulations across the surface, with some parts resting on the table and others floating above it. Of course, the thing about CNC routing is you need to know the exact height of something so you can cut down into it by your chosen amount. So, what to do? I suppose a vacuum table would help, but I don't have one of those. And even then, I'm not sure it would suck down every bump. So nerve-wracking stuff. My advice to you, if you're attempting anything similar, is to handle the sheet as little as possible and get it onto the table before it has a chance to get all bumpy. I decided I just have to take it very slowly and set the router way too high and slowly work it down with each pass. So even though the sheet is just 1 millimeter thick, it still took 10 passes at ½ mil a pass to get all the way down to the baseboard. Some holes cut out sooner than others, of course, and there came a point in each cut where the last pass cut through all the remaining thickness in one go, with a lot of noise. But at least by then, the sheet was maybe only half its original thickness. With all the holes cut out, I went around the edge, and that went quite well. And all the cuts were pretty neat, really, and pretty much in the right place. So you can cut copper sheet successfully with a router, and of course it doesn't have to be in a CNC machine, but a handheld router pushing down on the sheet wouldn't be able to cut too deep would it? So that would be better. No doubt it would still snatch at the material and pull itself in the wrong direction. So you'd have to find a good way of containing its movement. But you have to do that anyway when you're cutting timber, don't you? Anyway, so far so good. My copper top. Now after this, I don't think I have any more useful advice for you at all. But you can see what I did wrong so that you don't have to do the same thing. Right, so I tried cleaning it with vinegar and salt, and that worked well, except where it didn't. I tried white spirits and detergent, but in the end I reverted to abrasives of different coarsenesses. And then, to stop it tarnishing in the air, I applied some car wax, and that looked good for about 5 minutes. Despite 3 coats of wax, the surface quickly dulled to a patchy brown. Not quite the finish I had in mind. So I cleaned it again, and while I was trying to remember where I'd left the lacquer, I fitted it to the top of the box. I'll need to take this off to get to the mechanisms underneath fairly often, I guess. So I used only 4 screws, 1 in each corner. And then carefully pulled the edge over with some wide mole grip thingies. And knocked the fold into position with a rubber mallet. And it looked pretty good at this point. In fact, that's the best it's ever looked. Because, again, that finish didn't last long at all. Pink copper is pretty, but it is as fleeting as sunshine in April because it's very reactive. It reacts to the residue of the vinegar and salt and to the moisture in the air and to fingerprints. So I cleaned it again and washed the vinegar off as soon as possible and dried it all straight away, and that didn't work either. Fresh water and air led to almost instant oxidization, patination. But this time there were at least some interesting blues and greens and pinks amongst the browns, and they may suit the theme of this game well enough, though more pink would be better, wouldn't it? So anyway, I sprayed on a thin layer of polyurethane lacquer, and I'll see how long it lasts this time. Because I'm thinking now, if I do it again, or when I do it again, I mean when I clean it again, I should forget all about the vinegar and the water and that stuff and just go with the sanding and try to keep it dry all the time. But in our climate that could be tricky. Have you any helpful suggestions, please?